Well, first off, I don't know how I can top that.
Good start.
Seeing him fall in love with Faith was something that I hadn't seen ever before. Like, I just never saw him really come to life like he did with Faith.
Even if you don't know them, you could look at them and go, okay, they are madly in love with each other.
After we officially became a couple, I wrote this in my journal. Well, reader, it's finally happened. Someone has come along and totally knocked me off my feet.
Nick said some people from church were coming to watch one of his hockey games. And I looked, and there was a picture of Faith with her arms around Nick.
And then it was shortly after that, Faith came to me and asked me if she could ask Nick to marry her.
That did not happen.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It did not happen.
Faith knows.
No. No.
Like when he talks about her, you just see how much he adores her. And when she talks about their first date or, you know, some of the early dates, when she tells people about it, her eyes are like gleaming and sparkling and she's all giggly and she's just, you know, it's just the way she talks about it. She's never talked about any dates like that before, any guys. And so she gets all giddy and it's very cute.
25 stone, one at Oregon City.
Yeah, she's got
Let me grab some. It's happening. I know. Yeah.
It was one of their like second or third dates, one of the early dates, and they went to the coast. She has such a free natured spirit. When they got onto the sand, she kicked off her shoes and just ran straight into the water. And he was admiring like her childlike nature and like how she like did not care. She just went for it. And I was watching him tell this story and her just beaming as he was telling it. I kind of knew then that this was like really serious, even though it was early on.
A few days after I wrote this, we went for an evening walk in Silverton. At one point, you stopped, looked up, and said, "Look, it's a butterfly." I followed your gaze, and there was a massive cloud formation in the shape of a butterfly. The likeness was unmistakable, and there were no other clouds in sight. I couldn't believe it.
Get him a gift. Perfect. I have a little gift for you. Oh, you look so handsome. I have a little gift for you from Faith for your pocket square.
Oh.
It's some extra fabric.
Yeah.
So you're good. Teresa's bringing something. I'm so happy for you.
Seeing that butterfly with you was an undeniable confirmation, a wink from God, if you will, which brings me to this moment.
More nervous than I thought I was. When I was weighing, I decided to read my vows, and that was not a good idea. I remember the first time we went on that walk to the park in Silverton like it was yesterday. It was a spontaneous decision to go explore a bit. I'd never been there, but before we knew it, we were running around like kids, hitting the swing set and goofing off on the playground. You called me cute that night, and pretty sure I was blushing the rest of the evening.
Oblivious as I was, God was very gracious and made sure we ran in the same circles for months until I figured it out. The ultimate wingman. Then, on that fateful night in January when I went to your hockey game and you drove me back to my car afterward, I felt an undeniable shift, like a key turning in a lock. I immediately felt so at ease with you. As we sang the lyrics to All Star and Bohemian Rhapsody at the top of our lungs, I was incandescent. I had never felt more like myself. Being with you made me feel like a shooting star. We were traveling at the speed of light, and I never wanted it to stop. Years ago, I went for a hike not far from here, just about 20 miles up the road. My life was quite frankly a mess. I had just gotten out of a very unhealthy relationship, moved to Portland during the height of the pandemic, and genuinely thought the world might be ending. I had never felt more lost, scared, alone, or heartbroken. So I did what I often do when I need to process. I went for a long, scenic drive to clear my head and ended up at Rowena Crest. As I wandered the cliffs, the song Wildflowers by Tom Petty popped into my head. I hadn't listened to that song that day, that week, or even that month, but it was there on repeat. The next day, it was still stuck in my head, and the day after that, and the day after that. Weeks later, the lyrics were still echoing in my mind. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. You belong with your love on your arm. You belong somewhere you feel free. Of course, you had no idea what I had written in my journal days earlier, or about my connection to the song Wildflowers, but all of this came to the forefront of my mind immediately. Seeing that butterfly with you was an undeniable confirmation, a wink from God, if you will. Which brings me to this moment.
From the moment you entered my life, everything has felt brighter and more meaningful. When I first asked you out, and you pretended to look at your calendar before saying yes, I never would have guessed, though I secretly hoped we'd end up here.
Without further ado, it is by the power vested in me by the State of Oregon and Grace Chapel. Nick and Faith, I now pronounce you to be husband and wife. Nick, you may kiss your bride. For the very first time, I introduce to you Nick and Faith Hubert.
Super cheesy to say. They bring out like the best in you. And like that's just a fact in this case. Because like Nick,
he can be a little quiet. He can do all of this stuff, and when Faith's around, then it's just when Faith comes around, then he's extrovert, and he's talking, he's outgoing, he's doing, it's like all the parts that never really come out are all of a sudden coming out with Nick.
I just never saw him really come to life like he did with Faith, and it just made my heart really happy seeing him so giddy and like blush and find the love of his life, and it truly just changed his personality almost a little bit. And so I've just been really proud just watching him grow up and grow into just such an amazing person, and I have no doubt that he will take amazing care of Faith.
Nick, you make me feel like I'm surrounded by wildflowers every day. Like I'm sailing calm seas with the sun melting into the horizon. But most of all, you make me feel free. Free to be silly, free to rest, free to indulge in curiosity and play, free to be wholly, wildly, unashamedly myself, and most importantly, free to love fully without a shred of fear. You've created a garden for me to exist in. Our relationship is a place where I can experience pure joy and delight, one I can take refuge in and relinquish the burdens I carry and just be me.
We ended up going to the beach. You know, we went out for a long walk, and it was cold. Like we need to turn around. This is a terrible idea type of cold. But you know, I was mustering up the courage to continue, since, you know, I had this extremely gorgeous girl with me. Not long after that, you kicked off your shoes, socks, and ditched your coat and just bolted to the ocean. Frolicking without a care in the world about the temperature. By the time we got back to the path, your jeans were soaked all the way up to your pockets. But you had the biggest smile on your face. That's when I realized I had completely fallen for you.
Something special.